That's those burlap bags. They are not comfortable at all. And whenever we are mourning, we are not in a place of our comfort. Whenever we are in the season of Lent, God is calling us out of our comfort. He's calling us to get uncomfortable so that some things can be revealed to us in the midst of the process. David lies in the sackcloth. He refuses to eat, and on the seventh day, the baby dies. David notices his attendants, and they are whispering and saying, "Oh, what are we going to do now? This fool might kill himself." Who knows what he's going to do when he finds out that the baby is dead? And once finding out the baby is dead, look, this is how David handles the pain. The Bible says that when he learned that the baby was dead, he got up, washed his face and his body, put on some lotion, a little bit of cologne, his Sunday go to meeting clothes, and he went to worship God. Came back home after worshiping and ate some food. While David is doing all of this, in verse 24, we are told that he had to come back home to comfort his wife. When David's pain is ending, Bathsheba's pain is just beginning. Have you ever been in a situation that you didn't even put yourself in? And the people that did you wrong, somehow they've gone on with their life and they have moved on and they are happy-go-lucky and everything's peachy keen and the pain for you is just starting. This is also a lesson in how men and women handle pain. Men are like waffles. Everything has a box. Everything has a component. Everything can be blocked off. And so once God said the child had to die, the child dies. David says, that's it. Time to move on to the next thing. Women are like spaghetti. Everything is intertwined. You don't know one end from the next. And so it is that when husbands and wives have disagreements and arguments, the wife is still going and the husband is done with it. I know I'm telling the truth. 21 years of marriage tells me I'm telling the truth. He done put it in the box on the waffle. He's compartmentalized it. He has separated it. It's over, and I'm just getting started. I can imagine in my sanctified mind that while David was fasting and lying in sackcloth, you had Bathsheba nursing and nurturing her newborn. That's right. You see, the king summoned whoever he wanted to the room, to his chambers, night after night. So Bathsheba wasn't necessarily in the same room. And so while David is fasting and praying and lying in sackcloth and going through his issue, Bathsheba is trying to nurse her sick baby back to health. I can't say whether David shared the info with her or not that Nathan had shared with him. I would say he did not. And so she just knows that her baby's sick. That's right. And she's doing everything she can to preserve the life of her child. She's nursing the baby and she's changing the baby and she's touching the baby and comforting the baby. She's doing what mamas do. Yes, that's right, that's right. And though she may not have understood it, and though she may have had her own trepidations and worrying about what might happen, she was still nurturing goes on with life. Bathsheba is still in pain. She's still dealing with the pain because all she knows is the baby she's carried for 9 months. The baby she sung to and read to and wrote, the living child that she and David and God created that moved in her belly at night, keeping her awake. They've been tied to the hip. And now that which I learned to love even before it got here, it's gone. The Bible says that David went in to comfort her, but we know how they comfort. I mean, can I be real? Or y'all just want me to be phony? Can I be real up in here? I can imagine because David has already experienced the stages of grief. He's already gone through the pain. He's already gone through the denial and praying and begging God, let my baby live. Preserve my son's life. And when God answered, David says, okay, it's over. And even his servants said, man, you strange. Now, while the baby was living, you over there won't eat and stinky because you won't wash and all of these things. And now that the baby dead, you're up and gone. And David said, well, I did that because I was hoping God would change his mind. How many times do we try to consecrate ourselves because we're trying to manipulate the will of God? How often do we go in prayer? Not because we're trying to get closer to God, but because we need God to give us something. I need a breakthrough. I need a job. I need some money.
Lord have mercy.
We can't manipulate the will of God.
Lord have mercy.
And once David had finished his stages of grief, I'm sure he goes into Bathsheba and says, well, you need to get over it. Huh. Ever been hurt by a person and their attitude over the issue was get over it? It's been long enough. We gonna beat the horse to death. We done talked about it 10 times, flipped it over, looked at it, went under the hood and everything else. It ain't gonna change. Get over it. But the reality is this, is that the same way we as women have been programmed and created to be nurturers, so it is that sometimes we will nurture our pain. Same way we nurture our children and nurture our husbands and nurture our brothers and nurture those people in our lives. And we go out of our way to please everybody. Sometimes that nurturing spirit will activate itself when we are dealing with trouble and pain. And it's a dangerous thing to nurture pain. That's where the enemy wants you to be. Because every time you nurture it, every time you think about it, every time you talk about it, every time you got to tell this person and that person, let me tell you what he did to me. Let me tell you what she did to me. Let me tell you what they said about me. You are reliving the issue over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not saying that we shouldn't feel pain nor should we grieve. No. We must grieve. But we can't stay in a depressed state. We can't stay in that place. And so the word says that David goes in to comfort his wife. Let me just tell you 3 quick things. we must do as we go to handle pain. Whenever we are handling pain, we have got to have passionate prayer. Gotta have passionate prayer. One thing I like about David and what he did when he went into fasting and prayer, even though it was in an attempt to change God's mind, he was passionate about his prayer.
Yes, yes.
He didn't let anything or anybody distract him from his assignment on the wall of prayer.
Yes.
The Bible tells us again and again that the elders of his household came and stood beside him. And because he was the king, we can't let the king lie in ashes and on sackcloth. We got to get him up. But the Bible tells us that David refused them. They said, King, you gotta eat, you gotta keep your strength up. But David refused food for 7 days. David fasted unto the Lord. He was focused. And when we are dealing with pain and in our lives, in order to handle it properly, we must have a passionate prayer life. Because in the midst of a passionate prayer life, God is going to reveal his will to you. God is going to tell you what to do, show you how to handle it.
Yes, yes.
He didn't allow things and people to distract him away from his prayer assignment. And when we are in the season of Lent, we have got to be passionate about our prayer time.
Thank you, Lord.
If it means getting up early and losing some sleep,
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
then we got to do what we got to do.
Yes, yes, yes.
In order for God to take us through the process and we can release this pain, we got to have a personal relationship with him. And our personal relationship is only developed through passionate prayer. Second, when we're dealing with pain, the way we handle it, not only by having passionate prayer, but then we have to be prepared for worship. The Bible says that when he was in the midst of his prayer time, he didn't even let bathing distract him. He was focused on God these 7 days because he wanted God to work a miracle. And sometimes we want a miracle from God, but our attention span ain't but 15 minutes long. In this ADD, ADHD society, we can't stay focused on nothing. In this microwave world that we have, we want it now. But God says you got to tarry for it. And you got to be prepared to enter my presence. You see, David, once he knew that the child was dead, he said, okay, God, I hear you, God. You didn't change your mind, so I'm not going to be angry at you. I'm not gonna blame you, God. What I'm going to do is prepare myself for worship. The Bible says that he washed himself and that he put on lotion and he changed his clothes and he went into God's house and worshiped. You see, after his passionate prayer, the thing that was most pressing on the heart and mind of David was to worship God. He wasn't worried about physical food, but David needed some spiritual food. He needed to go into the house of the Lord. He had to enter his gates with thanksgiving and go into the courts with praise. He had to be thankful unto him and bless the Lord's name, for the Lord is good. quick shower or not, throw on some clothes and come up in the house with no sense of reverence. Everything on the mind but God. You see, David understood that he couldn't go into God's presence any kind of way. When he was in prayer and he was down and out and he was fasting, he allowed himself to fall to a low that the king is not, that the king doesn't usually fall to. He didn't change his clothes. He didn't wash. He laid there. Very few things would he move out of that spot for. And he would come right back and be in the presence of God by way of passionate prayer. But he knew that when he was ready to go into the temple, he couldn't go into God's presence and God's house in your kind of way. He said, God, I've laid around in my sin, my filth for 7 days. But now I got to clean myself up so that I can go and see you. You got to understand. I'm not talking about people who have yet to be saved. I'm not talking about folk who are babes in Christ. But David's been in God a long time. God had rescued him from Saul. God had chosen him to be the next king. God was with him when he slew the lion and he slew the bear. God was with him when he slew Goliath. David's been with God a long time. And the truth of the matter is, he knew better than doing what he did. So he had to clean himself up. Sometimes it seems like the older we get, the slacker we get. We can have a passionate excitement for God when we start out, but after the mundane becomes mundane. The day in and day out after, we're not seeing daily miracles as we would like. Because after a while, God says that your blessing is found in every day. And as a mature believer, you got to be willing to look for God in the commonplace. It ain't always by a miracle. It ain't always by the unusual. We got to be willing to look for God in everything. And every person we encounter. Passionate prayer. Prepare for worship. And then finally, accept God's will. After his attendant said, man, we don't understand you. You stayed on the ground while the child was living, and now that the child is dead, you up here, you acting strange. And David answered that why the child was still alive, I did that because I hoped that God would relent and change his mind. But now that the child is dead, why should I go on fasting? Can I bring him back again? I will go to him, but he will not come back to me. Then it said David went in to comfort Bathsheba. Again, David's pain was ending, but Bathsheba's pain was just beginning. And David said, why will I go on fasting if the child is already dead? Testing 1, 2, 3. I just want to be sure that everybody in the building hears what I'm getting ready to say. Stop praying for and fasting over dead things. You still fasting for that old boyfriend that mistreated you. You still praying that God is going to change him. If it's already dead, God said, let dead things be. Stop praying over dead situations. We want God to change the situation, but God is trying to change us. and not the circumstance. I know this is a child, and so I want you to know I'm not being insensitive. But I do need to say, especially to my sisters, there's nothing that we can go through that somebody else hasn't already been through. There is nothing that we can go through that somebody else hasn't already been through. And the same way God brought them out, God can bring you out. I don't know if we know when to get happy. There's nothing. I know there are those who 10 years later they're still crying. Every now and then you're going to feel the pain of the emptiness of the loss of a child, of a loss of a parent, of the loss of a loved one or a friend. You're going to feel the pain. It's going to come back. But you got to know how to handle that pain. You can entertain that pain for a little while, but you can't stay there. You might ask, why can't you stay there? Look at verse 24. The Bible says that after David comforted his wife, and I can't help but believe that he took her through the same steps of prayer and worship that he had gone through. But eventually, they got together, and in so doing, they conceived Solomon. The reason why we gotta accept God's will and not nurture the pain and not stay in that place is that we will miss what God is trying to do next. God still used David and Bathsheba to bring a son into the world, and that son was named Solomon, one of the greatest kings that ever lived. There's still greatness in you. There's still power in you. There's still a passion in you. God can still use you, but you got to accept God's will so that God can do the next thing in your life. Anybody looking for the next thing? Anybody looking for the next thing? Anybody wanting the next level? Anybody wanting to open doors? We got to let go of the pain we're in so that the God we serve can bring about the new thing. God says, I'm about to do a new thing in your life. I know you've been praying about one thing, but I got something better. I know you wanted the first child that was conceived in adultery, but I got something better. Solomon was on the way, and he was the most wise, richest king that ever lived. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but God has a better thing on the way for you. Don't give up now. Don't let go now. God will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will bring a new thing. Don't give up, friends. On the things that God has promised, they will come. It is now time for us to get back to God.